What comes to mind when you hear the word anger? It's something we've all experienced, but many struggle to understand it. For some, it feels like a fire that's out of control, and for others, it's something they avoid and suppress. But anger isn't just an inconvenient emotion, it's a powerful signal that is telling us something important about ourselves and the world around us. So let's break it down and to see what anger is, what role it has, and how we can channel its energy into something productive and positive. So anger, it's a signal. It alerts us to something in our environment or in ourselves, something that needs attention. So often it arises when we perceive an injustice, when our boundaries have been crossed, or when our expectations haven't been met. And anger brings a lot of energy. And you've probably felt that surge when anger takes over. Your heart races, your body tenses, and you've got lots of energy boiling inside. And this energy can be destructive and lead to impulsive words and actions that harm others or escalate conflict. But it can also be productive and help us set boundaries, solve problems, or advocate for fairness and change. In fact, a lot of social movements have been fueled by anger and intention to change the injustice. So the question is not whether anger is good or bad, it's about how we use it. It's helpful to distinguish between anger as a primary and a secondary emotion. So primary anger is this immediate and instinctive feeling, and when someone cuts you off in the traffic, that surge of frustration, raw and unfiltered. And anger as a secondary emotion is more complex, and it often hides some deeper emotions like hurt, fear, sadness, helplessness. Or for example, if someone forgets something really important for you, the anger you express might actually be covering disappointment or fear of not being valued, of not being heard. So if you understood whether your anger is primary or secondary, it will be easier to address it and to choose the right response. It is also very helpful to dig deeper and to identify the needs behind anger. Because at its core, anger often points to unmet needs or values, as we've seen. And here are some examples. If you feel angry because a coworker interrupted you, it might point to a need for respect, for being heard, for acknowledgement. And if you feel angry because your boundaries have been crossed, it may be a need for safety, autonomy, for respect. If you feel outraged by unfair treatment or injustice, it often points to a need of fairness, equality, or integrity. If you feel anger when someone criticizes you, it might come from a need for acceptance, understanding, appreciation. And the way we experience anger often comes from our upbringing, from our family, from our environment. Some of us were taught to suppress it, to keep quiet, avoid conflict, be nice. But if we constantly suppress anger, it can lead to resentment, to stress, and to health problems. And others were taught to express their anger aggressively, and they may grow up thinking that that's a valid way to assert themselves and to feel heard. And this might offer temporary relief, but it often damages relationships and makes it even harder to address the real issue. So how can you use anger as a tool rather than letting it control us? When anger rises, take a moment to ask yourself, what is this emotion really telling me? What need or value is hiding behind it? Or what need or value is unmet? And then channel the energy. Anger carries a lot of power. And use that energy to take constructive action, set boundaries, advocate for fairness, work toward a solution. And you can also channel this energy physically, like going for a run, doing exercise, cleaning the space. So it all helps to release this tension created by anger. And finally, we can choose our response. You can learn not to react impulsively, but choose the way that aligns with your values and your goals. And that helps to find a solution and not to escalate the situation. So to sum up, anger is not something to avoid or to suppress. It's a messenger. It's a signal. It points to unmet needs and carries energy that we can use destructively or productively. So we need to learn to listen to what anger is telling us and channel its energy wisely. This way, we can transform it from potential source of conflict into a tool for growth and positive change. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of anger. I'd like to invite you to take a moment to reflect on how you experience anger and how you can use its energy in a way that serves you and others. See you soon in the next episode of this series.